is, what is the law of attraction?
Oh, yes, welcome. I am Saint Germain. We welcome you all. We would be showing our channel that the law of attraction is based on your vibrational frequency. Where are you vibrating in this moment? What is it that you are putting out to the universe? It is when you have raised your vibration to that of a frequency of divine love, you would attract more divine love to you. This is the law of attraction. What and where you're vibrating at is what you will attract to you. Many of you watching this already know this law of attraction. You are already familiar with this concept. You are already familiar with the frequencies. We would recommend tapping into the law of magnetism as well. This would help accelerate for those of you who are wanting to manifest more in your reality. The law of magnetism is opposites attract. How could I do both at the same time? I am doing and playing out the law of attraction and attracting to me what I desire. And the law of magnetism is doing the polarity of that. We would say to turn both on at the same time by simply putting the intention. I will step into the law of attraction and attract what I desire to me. But yet when I create something bad or what I consider to be bad in my reality, in my perception, I consider it to be something bad or wrong, then I say, I didn't create that. I'm taking responsibility that I created the good in my life. But where are you taking responsibility that you created the bad as well? You must take responsibility that you create all frequencies and everything in your reality. You must take responsibility that you create all in your reality in order to change your reality. You must first master poverty in order to create wealth. You must first master love in order to conquer loneliness. You must first master illness in order to create wellness. What do you mean by this? How would I master the frequencies? And we would say to stop judging them. You are judging them from an ego perception. You were saying when something bad happens to me, I did not create that. But when something good happens to me, I did create it. And you were judging the fact that when something bad happens or something in your perception that is bad, we wouldn't call it bad in our perception. It just is. It simply is, because we're not judging it. But from an ego perception, you are judging it, and you were saying that something is good, bad, right, or wrong, and we would say it is neither. This is the spot you would be required to resonate in order to attract what you desire to you. This would put you in the fifth dimension reality. This would put you into the now moment. If you had an experience without judgment, if you were standing in the middle of the polarities instead of being in the polarities, you were saying that if something good happens to me, I created that, but if something bad happens, I didn't. And we would say you create it all. When you are attracting to you with the law of attraction, you are asking those who hurt you, you are asking them to come and bring that frequency to you. Take responsibility for this. My spirit would go to another spirit and say, I have not yet gotten my power yet. I keep vibrating in lack, and I feel like I am less than, and I am not enough. And yet I haven't mastered transmuting this within myself. Could you come and visit me and criticize me and put me down and tell me that I am not good enough? And when they show up to tell you, you are saying that something is happening to me instead of for me, but your spirit has asked them to bring these frequencies to you so that you can change and master that frequency within you. You do this by not judging it and giving it gratitude. When somebody criticizes you, give it gratitude. If somebody left a mean comment under this video on the YouTube channel, Tara would give gratitude for it, because it is energy, and it is not good, bad, right, or wrong. It simply is. It is not negative or positive. It simply is. If you stand in a fifth dimension perception, then a negative comment would propel the algorithms forward just as much as positive comment. It would propel the algorithms forward. So give gratitude to this. This is the same in your reality when there is people coming into your life and you're feeling attacked and they are being mean to you and you were saying this is happening to me. Instead, give gratitude to it and you will master the frequency. Do not judge it. If you are being harmed by another, do not judge it. Stand in a place of non-judgment, and then you will be able to create deliciousness into your reality. You will be able to manifest anything you desire. But if you are still judging it, then it will show up the opposite. If you're still judging poverty as wrong or bankruptcy as wrong or as less than or as embarrassing or humiliating, then you haven't mastered it yet. And it will keep showing up in your reality until you change the frequency within yourself of non-judgment. It is simple, but yet it is difficult when you're in a third dimension reality. We would say to simply observe it, observe the feelings and allow them to arise from your chakra systems of your perception of what bankruptcy feels to you or what lack of money feels to you. Sit with it, allow it to arise. Most of you, as soon as you begin to feel it, you run from it and you get angry and you say, I did not create this. I do not want poverty in my reality. I do not want bankruptcy. And I refuse to look at it. And yet you are the one that created it so that you could master it. If you master the deepest depths of the frequency in the polarity of the light, then you will know the greatest light. But if you are saying, I will experience a little bit of poverty in my perception, and I am afraid to go any deeper than that, to look at it, then you will only receive that in the polarity in money or in wealth. There are many that would be quite rich on the planet or quite wealthy on the planet if they would face these fears, allow it to come to the surface, stop hiding. The comfort zone is not where the spirit wants to play. It is within the discomfort that the spirit gets excited. It is within the discomfort that the expansion of the consciousness within you grows. And when it expands out, you can receive more abundance because you become more abundant within your consciousness. First, master the polarity of what you are, and then you will know who you are. You will know what you are in abundance once you master the polarity of that. One moment, please. Okay, so he's telling me to drink water, so.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So just so everybody knows that you need to be drinking water because you're essentially almost overheating as the energy is coming through you. So it's kind of like your radiator fluid, if you will, you're cooling off the engine.
Yeah, just because they're bringing, like, there's other ascended coming through, bringing frequencies through my chakras. So that takes more water. So I have to pause for some cool down. Yeah.
No problem at all. That was an amazing answer to a very simple question.
It goes, yeah, he kind of goes. That was with things.
Yeah, that was a beautiful answer. And there's a lot packed into that answer too, by the way. It's a dense, I'm sure I'm gonna have to listen to that one again. My next question to Saint Germain in regards to the law of attraction is that there's a lot of misinformation about the law of attraction, about only it being something for physical wealth or things of that manner, and not anything really else. In the it's in the zeitgeist, everyone just thinks you just wish for something and it just shows up. Can he clarify what the law of attraction truly is meant to be for us?
It is to play with frequencies. Your spiritual body is put on a human costume and begin to play on planet Earth. You already know the frequency of everything. This isn't your first rodeo. This isn't your first time on planet Earth. You know the frequencies. You know what it is like to be everything and nothing all at once. When you are on planet Earth, you've come to experience the frequencies, because when you are love, when you are compassion, when you are consciousness, then how do you know what you are if you have nothing to compare it to? You are consciousness. You are in a universe that is created in frequency. You see that everything is solid around you, but we do not see it that way. It is an illusion of being solid. It is vibration, and everything is vibrating. And you put on your human costume and you come to planet Earth to experience the frequencies of the polarity of that which you are. You already know the end result. There is not a race to the finish line, because the spirit knows what it is like to be fully conscious. It is the universe separates itself from itself and then comes and has an illusion of being individual onto planet Earth. And you come and you play with frequencies. These frequencies, if you master the polarity of what you are, then you can have abundance in all areas. This is what we were saying. It is you connecting with the consciousness in everything brings you more abundance in all areas. There is not one area that you cannot have everything. It is right in front of you, but your glasses are foggy and you cannot see it. It has never been not in front of you, because you are everything. You are all energy. There's no separation. There's an illusion that you are separate, but we would say that it is about mastering the frequencies and playing with the frequencies here on planet Earth in the now moment. If you are standing in a third dimension reality, meaning if you are standing in the past or the future, where most of you reside in, your mind goes to the past and worries about what happened in the past, or your mind goes to the future that does not yet exist, and you vibrate there. We would say to get into the now moment and to connect with the consciousness of all in your reality, touch the table and feel the consciousness of it and the abundance of it, and give it gratitude for holding your plate while you eat dinner. Connect to the consciousness of the food and give it gratitude as you take each bite. And you will begin to notice that more food shows up in your reality, that more abundance shows up in your reality, not only in wealth, but in joy and happiness, because you were connecting to the consciousness within everything. This is the answer to complete abundance. Sit with it. Take your time. There are many speeding through life, and you are in the past or the future, but neither exist. Be in the now moment and to connect to the consciousness within everything, to experience more abundance in all areas. If you see a child playing and smiling and having fun, connect with your own inner child. What does that feel like? Can you remember when you connected with your inner child? When was the last time? Did you play as a child? How did you play as a child? This will indicate where you will find your passions. How did I play with my toys as a child? Did you play with your toys? Did you teach or do sports or do arts and crafts or sing? How you played as a child will give you an indication of what your passions are for as an adult that would bring you more joy and happiness in your reality and more abundance. You will find your life purpose. We are tapping into a question from the collective. One moment, please. Someone is asking, I can't not find my purpose. There is more than one person asking this. How do I find my purpose? And we would say that your purpose is on the other side of your deepest fears. It is that the ego consciousness does not want to experience the frequency of the life purpose or the life passion. We would say the life purpose would be to experience vibration. But if you're having an individual experience and you wanted to have a soul's purpose to bring you and fulfill you in your heart, then we would say it is on the other side of your greatest fears. Tara has an intense fear of interviews, and so she is doing an interview. In order to get to the other side of that fear, she is wondering what is on the other side of that. But if she doesn't master the frequencies of the panic that arises when she does an interview, then she will never know what's on the other side of it. Could it be something delicious? Could it be more doors opening? Could it be more opportunities? Could it be meeting new friends or having new connections? Someone that would bring her a smile or some joy into her life. This is what we are saying. If you were afraid to start something, if you were afraid to take that next step, This is where the spirit likes to play. The ego consciousness will never let you face that fear because it wants to run the show. But if you face it and step into it and allow those vibrational frequencies of fear and panic to arise to the surface, your consciousness will instantly transmute it. And each time you do an interview, if that is where your fear is, it will get easier and easier because you will have transmuted more and more. Once you have mastered transmuting all the frequencies of the fear, then you are set free and more doors will open. You will find abundance that you have never imagined in your reality. There are many fears that people aren't facing because they are afraid that it's not in my comfort zone. And we would say the spirit likes to play outside the comfort zone. What would be exciting if you're not transmuting frequencies for the spirit? This would be a boring life. It would be a life of mundaneness. And you would get to the end of the life and you would say, why did I stay in the first chapter? Why didn't I go to chapter 2 or 3 or 4 or the last chapter or start a new book? How many books could you write in your lifetime of life experience? This is where the spirit wants to play. This is where you'll find your abundance in all things. Face your fears, step over them. On the other side is deliciousness. I went kind of deep, so
yeah. Drink some water. He is definitely not playing around today. That's for sure. He's going deep without question.
There was a lot for the heart chakra in that one, so I get quite short of breath. But yeah, so that was good. That means that people watching are bringing a lot to the surface, so that's good. Yeah.
Now let me ask you, just as a question to you, how do they know what people are thinking or feeling if we are recording this just you and me and no one's actually watching it yet? Are they tapping into future events? Are they tapping into, what are they doing?
So everything's happening now. So even our past lifetime. So it's like now stacked moments is what they show me. So it's like everything's happening now. So they just tap into future time of when people are watching it as if it's happening now. So it's like,
gotcha. So it's already happening.
We're just so he says like we have an illusion of linear time of past and present and future, but the only thing that's happening is now. There is no past. It doesn't exist, and the future doesn't exist in our in their perception. They're like only everything's happening now. That's why, and we're like multi-dimensional. Every time that we make a decision, there's another aspect of us that unfolds into a different timeline in a third dimension reality, but it unfolds and creates that other decision. And so you can't get a wrong. Yeah, like you can't get a wrong answer or make a wrong decision because there's going to be another aspect of you that unfolds the other decision. And this is happening like thousands of times a day, and it just unfolds it into another third dimension reality. So there's some people that he's showing me right now. It's like, oh, I want to do this for my life purpose or to bring me joy, but I'm worried it's the wrong decision. And he's like, let go of that fear and just unfold it because there's going to be another aspect of you that unfolds the other decision. So just stepping out of the fears and let go and let God.
Yes, I am an example of that without question. So my next question is, what is the difference between manifestation or manifesting and the law of attraction, which they kind of get thrown around at the same time?
Right. Okay. Thank you for the questions. They're good ones.
I appreciate it.
Oh, we would say it's perception. Everyone's perception of what manifestation means is a different perception than anyone else. This is what we are showing our channel. It is your perception. When someone looks at a painting, they will have a perception of it. But if 1,000 other people come into the room and look at the same painting, they will all have a different perception. There are many that we are tapping into in the collective at this moment, watching this video, and we would say you all have a different perception of what manifesting and what law of attraction means in your reality. It is your perception. So instead of focusing on what should I do? Should I manifest and do this when I read this in a book and it told me to do this and I tried that and it doesn't work. And then I read a law of attraction book and I tried that and it doesn't work. We would say instead, tap into your own knowing. All of you have your own key to manifesting. All of you have your own code to manifesting what's in your reality. And some of you will use the words manifesting or law of attraction, but we would say check in with your own frequency. Drop the words, drop the teachings that you have heard, and instead go in. When you were reading a book about manifesting or law of attraction, who wrote those words? Did they write them from the ego or the heart? We would say, you know the answers. You know how to manifest and create anything in your reality. And it is by going in and finding your own code, your own key, your own vibration that will bring that to you. We would say to do this in a meditation, but for those of you who aren't comfortable with meditation, do it when you play. Ask the universe a question, put the question out to the universe and go play. When you go play, it raises your vibrational frequency and the universe can drop in the answer. It can drop in the aha moment. When you have the aha moment, this is you channeling answers from the universe. This will give you keys, or this will give you ideas of where you need to be in order to create your reality. Ask the questions. When you do not ask questions to the universe cannot answer. It waits for you to ask the question. Ask the questions that you are seeking of what you wish to manifest in your reality, and drop all the other words. Drop the words. We are showing our channel to drop the words. What if there's no words? What if I didn't have a human body? Who am I without a human body? We are showing you that all these words and all these vibrational frequencies of the words sometimes will take you to the ego consciousness. It will put blocks in your path. Instead, go into a quiet meditation or go play and begin to connect with the child within you. This will raise your vibrational frequency to receive all that abundance that you are seeking. We would say to expect, we are showing our channel when someone goes out to dinner and they order food off the menu. They are saying, I am ordering this food and I expect it to be delivered to me. They never question that. They always assume it will be true because this is how it's been in the reality. They have always had the dinner order delivered. And when they have the dinner order delivered, they had expected it to be delivered. When you are ordering your abundance from the universe, when you're putting your order out to the universe, are you expecting it to be delivered? It is as simple as ordering a meal from the restaurant, from the waitress. And as you are ordering your meal and you are putting that expectation out to the universe, it is getting prepared in the kitchen and then it gets delivered with ease. But yet, when you're putting your order in for more abundance from the universe, whether it is money or health or love, you are having doubts. Instead of expecting it to be delivered, you are doubting that it might not be. We would say to be in the now moment and play with the inner child that you have neglected, and this will bring you to a state of vibrational frequency of the fifth dimension, because it'll bring you to the now moment. When it brings you to the now moment, you can create from there. There are two aspects of you. There's an aspect that is vibrating in third dimension and an aspect that's vibrating in fifth dimension. Move into the aspect of you in fifth dimension with putting the intention and manifest from there. This will put you into the vibrational frequency that you are seeking to pull in the law of attraction, or to pull in the law of magnetism, or to manifest. We would say to drop the words and instead step into your fifth dimension reality. There is two of everything on planet Earth, and it is vibrating in third dimension or fifth dimension. Which one would you like to receive? Because in third dimension, it comes with a lot of fear-based energies. It comes with a lot of judgment, but fifth dimension does not, and it can be delivered quite quickly. It is like going to a fast food restaurant. It comes out fast. You put in your order and your food is quite rapidly delivered, and you expect this. But then you go to a fine dining restaurant and it takes a little bit longer. And we would say, go through the fast food drive-through for your manifestation. Step into a fifth dimension reality. When you're in a fifth dimension reality, connect to the consciousness of money. Have any of you talked to money before? Have you connected to the consciousness of money? Do you understand the vibrational frequency of money? Have you been receiving information from the consciousness of money and asking it what it needs and what it would like? Is it being respected? Are you respecting money? When you get money, do you shove it in your pocket and not give it respect? When you purchase something, do you give it gratitude? This is what we are saying. Begin to respect the consciousness of money, and the consciousness of money will begin to respect you. We know that there is more than money that you are wanting to manifest, but as we are tapping into the collective, there is majority of people would like to create more money in the reality and health and love, we would say. So do this with each one. Connect to the consciousness of love. Connect to the consciousness of love and ask it what it needs. Connect to the consciousness of wellness and ask it what it needs. Ask it to show you more. You have access to the consciousness within everything. Ask it to show you more. Ask more questions. When you put out a question to the universe can respond. But if the question is vague, the universe responds with vagueness. If the question is detailed, then the universe responds with detail. But some of you are afraid to ask questions. We are tapping into the viewers. One moment, please. There are many that are afraid to ask the universe for questions because they do not feel worthy. And we would say it is time to see your worth. Know that you are consciousness. Know your greatness. When Ascended Master Jesus walks into a room, he does not question his greatness. He knows his greatness. This is what we are saying. You must know your greatness in order to receive it. This is greatness from the heart, not the head. When Jesus walks into a room, he commands. He commands what it is he wishes in his reality to be so, and then it is so. But when you use the word command, you are feeling small. Your ego consciousness is saying, do not use the word command. If you use the word command, then you will run the show from your heart, and I want to be the one running the show from the head. So I'm going to make you feel uncomfortable about using the word command. But we would say, if you begin to incorporate that word, that vibrational frequency of the word command in your reality, then you would create much more in your reality, because you were saying that you were connecting to the consciousness within you, the God within you, and you were creating your reality from there. If you use the word command, it evokes the God within you to create your reality. We understand that some of you do not use the terminology God, and so we will veer back and forth from universe or source energy or creator or God, but we would say it is all based on your perception, and it is all frequency. It does not matter what you call it, but within you lies the consciousness of all. Connect to this consciousness within you and create from there. Command what you wish in your reality. Command it to be so, and you will create it in your reality. At first, the ego consciousness will make you feel uncomfortable using that word. After a few months, it will let go. The ego is not dying. There is someone in the audience saying, I'm going through a spiritual awakening and my ego is gonna die. I'm going through an ego death. And we would say the ego does not die. It only gets quieter because you lose the attachment to it. As you are awakening, you are getting louder from the heart instead of the head, and the ego consciousness will quiet down, but it will not be going anywhere. Instead, simply observe it as it criticizes you. When Tara is done channeling, her ego will say, you did not do a good job, but she will not attach to it. She will watch it float by. Begin to watch your ego consciousness float by rather than attaching to it. Command what you wish in your reality, and it will be so. Ah.
Drink some water.
Oh, thank you. Yes.
Remarkable. My next question is, how do negative thoughts and emotions affect manifestation and the law of attraction?
Thoughts are vibration. Emotions are vibration. Where am I vibrating at? This is what predicts what gets created in your reality. Where am I vibrating at? Check into where you're vibrating at. But some of you are, we're showing our channel that some are panicking. I had a wrong thought, and now I've ruined my whole day, and I might as well just not go on with my day because I had so many bad thoughts. And we are saying to ease up on oneself. You do not have to attach to these thoughts. There are some of you that are in the ego consciousness. There are some of you that are in the ego consciousness torturing yourselves, saying that I had a wrong thought and I have ruined my manifestation. We would say to observe your thought, observe it instead, and it will transmute back to love and let go of the attachment to it. It is the attachment to the thoughts that is blocking your manifestations because you are putting a judgment on it. You're putting a judgment on yourself that when you have a thought that you have ruined your manifestation. These thoughts will come in. They feel intrusive to many. There are three aspects or three parts of the ego consciousness within the mental body's consciousness, and it is the id, ego, and super ego. The id is the aspect of your mental body's consciousness that tells you whether something is we would say instant gratification or impulse control. And then the ego is what makes the decision, do not touch the hot stove. And then the super ego says, touch the hot stove and see what happens. When we are tapping into the collective's energy, and we're showing our channel that many have very intrusive, loud thoughts that are coming from the super ego consciousness. So when the ego tells you not to touch the hot stove, the super ego gets really loud and is loud for many. There are many that are run by their super ego instead of from their ego. The ego is needed on planet Earth in order to make decisions. And we would say it is not bad or wrong. It is a frequency of what you came to play with. I am in ego consciousness and I have to book a dentist appointment. You need the ego consciousness to do this. But some of you are allowing the super ego to run the show. This is where we are saying to observe it and it will let go. Observe those thoughts as they come in. I am a great channel. I'm a great channeler, Tara is saying, and her super ego would say something different. The super ego would say, no, you cannot channel. You're not a good channeler. This is where we are saying to see the argument that's going on in your head. There are many with voices that are telling them to do mean things to themselves or to others, and this would be the super ego is louder than the ego. You would like to change the frequency of this in order to have more peace in your life. We would say to do spiritual alchemy. You can do it by calling in Ascended Master Saint Germain. You are all able to do this. You do not need Tara to connect with Ascended Master Saint Germain. He is working with many on the planet. And if you are drawn to this video, that means you are already working with him on some level, or you would not be here. We would say to invite Saint Germain in to bring in the violet flame to balance the energies of the ego consciousness so that the ego and the super ego work in more harmony. This will quiet the thoughts, and so that it's not as intrusive, and that it does not, we would say, block your manifestations, because there are some that are so loud in their super ego that it is creating chaos in the reality. It reflects back to them. Wherever you are in your reality, wherever you're vibrating at in your thoughts, it gets reflected back as vibration outside of you. This is that my whole day goes wrong. Everything I go to do, it just messes up. I can't get it right. Nobody can get it right. Everyone's attacking me. I'm attacking me. This is the energy of those three, the id, ego, super ego. We would say to do spiritual alchemy with Saint Germain by writing it on a piece of paper, the vibrational frequencies of these words, the id, ego, and super ego. Hold them in your hand and command that your higher self and Saint Germain evoke the violet flame of transmutation to quiet the mind. Command as you hold these in your hand, there's nothing you have to do. Let Saint Germain do the transmutation. Simply observe it. Command that your id, ego, and super ego now work in vibrational harmony instead of repelling each other. This is the argument that is going on in many people's heads. It is that the ego says, don't touch the hot stove. And the super ego is saying, you must touch it because you have to see what happens. And it is being quite intrusive. Balance these energies and you will find your mind quiets instantly. Many of you would need to do this several times and some of you only once. It depends on how loud the super ego has become. You would wish for the super ego to not run the show in your reality in order to create more abundance in it. We would say that it is observation, be in the now moment, and create from there. How
are you holding up?
Good. Yeah, I feel good.
All right.
Yeah, thank you.
So we kind of touched on this earlier, and I really would love to hear Saint Germain explain it. The concept of parallel lives, if that the soul can live multiple lives at the same time, which makes my head hurt. So I'd love to hear what he has to say about that.
Oh, yes, welcome. I am Saint Germain. We are showing our channel that you can be everywhere and nowhere at the same time. You can be all that is and everything and nothing at the same time. When you unfold into another timeline, it is that you are not consciously aware. You're not consciously aware that you are unfolding into another timeline because you have a soul contract to have the perception that you are individual on planet Earth in this timeline in the year 2023. And so this is the only place you are conscious. You are conscious on planet Earth. You are knowing I am here. This is who I am. I am here. I am here on planet Earth in the year 2023. And you are consciously aware of this. And this is your life. And this is your only life. So the other aspects of you, we would say that the spiritual body's consciousness is made up of fractals of light. And as you experience your lifetime on planet Earth, these fractals of light that you are consciously aware of being here as a human get added to the soul at the end of your lifetime, and the soul holds all the information. And we would say that the soul holds all the information of your parallel lifetimes, but you were just not consciously aware. You have a soul contract to be conscious in this reality on planet Earth in order to experience the game. It is all about where you have turned on or turned off your conscious awareness. Some of you are able to know that you are multidimensional simply because it is in your blueprint. You are going to different dimensions. We would say you're going into different timelines in a third dimension reality and seeing what it would look like in your other lifetimes if you had unfolded other decisions. And some of you do this naturally. Some of you do this when you tap into a past lifetime. And some of you are doing this when you have a memory from childhood. It is the same thing. When you have a memory from childhood, you are tapping into a third dimension reality that no longer exists in your reality. Are you not? Yes, I have a memory from elementary school or grade school, and I am in grade 3, and I have a memory of being in the classroom. This is you tapping into a third dimension reality in a different timeline. You are able to do this, yet you do not see the concept, some of you do not see the concept of the parallel universes, but we would say it is the same thing. You being in grade 3 does no longer exist, but it does exist in the now moment in a different timeline. You are doing it naturally every day when you have a memory from the past. The memories aren't in your head, you channel them in. You are all channelers. You are channeling either in the 3rd dimension or the 5th dimension. You have access to the 3rd dimension, the 4th dimension, and the 5th dimension in this reality. You are tapping into these frequencies simply when you have a memory. Could you see this as a parallel lifetimes, as parallel timelines? You can ask to see. We are showing our channel that you could do this in your sleep. Ask your spirit guides or the universe. You do not have to work with spirit guides. You can connect with the universe and ask them to show you more parallel lifetimes in your sleep. This is where they would bring in pictures of this, or you would see it like a movie in your sleep. Ask the universe. I would like to see more of other aspects of me that have unfolded in other timelines and what that would look like. The decision to marry someone in this lifetime or marry another person. What would have happened if I had married the other person? Showing me in my sleep. We're showing our channel that it is also beneficial to transmute many of your fears in your sleep. Ask your spirit guides to assist you with this. Ask the universe to assist you with this if you do not work with spirit guides. Ask the universe to transmute your phobias and fears that are coming up from your past lifetimes. Ask them to transmute it in your sleep so that it is not as difficult in your waking life. There is no difference in our perception from wake life to sleep life. We are veering from your question, Alex, because we are tapping into some questions from the audience, and there are many that are struggling with the emotions that are coming up from your past lifetimes. There are many living in panic and fear. They are vibrating in fear and panic 90% of the day, we would say, and this is constant. It is because you were feeling the emotions from your past lifetimes coming to the surface in order to be transmuted back to love. Every lifetime that you have had before this, you did not know that God was within you. You thought the universe was outside of you, and therefore you did not have the power to change and transmute these fears back to love. But in this lifetime, you are all awakening to remember who you are as consciousness. And as you awaken to remember who you are as consciousness, all these frequencies are coming up through the chakra systems from past lifetime fears in order for your consciousness to transmute it. The spirit is having fun doing this, but most of you are panicking that you're living in panic. You are fearing the fear. Relax into it. Ask the universe to help you assist you in transmuting these frequencies while you sleep. I will go to bed tonight and I will see what comes to the surface. I will allow the transmutation to come to the surface. We will give an example. If you have a fear of your husband cheating on you, and this fear is intrusive, it is we would say for some of you bigger than any fear you've ever had, because when you are tapping into your past lifetimes to transmute fears, you are tapping into a past lifetime where it happened. So the fear would appear worse to you in your reality. It would appear more intense, we would say. As you are having these intrusive thoughts, ask your higher self or your spirit guides or the universe to help you transmute this while you sleep, instead of having it happen in your wake life. There is no difference between sleep state and wake state except for your perception. If I transmute the fear of my husband cheating on me while I am in sleep state, then it doesn't happen in my reality on planet Earth. It happens in my sleep, yet I can transmute the same frequencies back to love and not have it show up in my reality on planet Earth. If you are needing to transmute the fears of your husband cheating on you, then and you do it in your sleep, it does not have to show up in your wake state. I have transmuted and mastered those frequencies in my sleep, and therefore I will not create it in my wake state. Is this not more fun? Then you would stop panicking that he's going to cheat on you in real life, because you will have transmuted it in your sleep. Wow, we went way off the topic there. I don't even remember the question.
Drink some water. Drink some water. I'm like a nervous mom. Drink some water.
Thank you. I appreciate it, because I do forget.
I don't want you to overheat. I don't want steam coming out of your ears while we're in the middle of a conversation. Yes. So one other question I want to ask, and I love that he goes off and does his thing, but it still answers the question. He answered the question, but then he started to Miranda off into other things. Again, this is a conversation to be of service. So however he believes that is going to be of service to the audience, I'm all about it.
Right.
I'm all about it. Another question I had is kind of goes along with the parallel lives, is the multiverse. The multiverse is something that's being talked about a lot. It's being put out in movies now, television. It's an idea that's starting to get into the zeitgeist, where 10, 20 years ago, it wasn't even spoken about. But it's
so really... the multiverse is that like within the computers, or do you mean like parallel lifetimes?
Parallel like universes, parallel to ours. So it's like it just keeps going and going and going and going. And that there are multiple different universes are all, the multiverse. So in other words, like there's another me somewhere else, another you somewhere else, going through another thing, that you're an astronaut on another, I was a fireman in another universe. These kind of ideas that I would love him to talk about.
There are many universes. This universe has 10 dimensions, and you have access to 5. We would say that there are many universes, and there are many dimensions within the universes. This is beyond your comprehension for what is in your program on planet Earth. We're showing our channel. It is not possible for us to explain the vastness of this. But yes, when you look out into your movies, Alex had mentioned the movies, and if you were wondering where the collective is vibrating at, watch your movies. What movies are coming out, and you will see where the collective is vibrating at. If they are transmuting much through the heart chakra, then you will find your movies are bringing up emotions of the heart, and so on. When you are seeing movies in your reality that are about multi-universes, then this is a possibility, because the collective is bringing it to the attention. The collective, meaning all of you, have decided what to have in your reality on planet Earth. And you bring hints. You all discuss this on a soul level, and you bring hints to the surface through your movies. And we would say, yes, it is correct. Many of your movies are showing what it looks like to have a multi-universe. You are all from different aspects. I am source energy, and I am frequency, and I have separated from myself to have an experience. And many of you have been on planet Earth. You were asking, where are the aliens? What are the aliens? We would say many of you have been the aliens. I am seeing an alien and in my reality, and we would say that it is because you have a soul contract to see that alien in your reality. And there is many of you who have been on that alien planet that you were seeing in your reality. There are many that are having experiences of multi-universes in their dreams or in their thoughts. And we would say, this is correct. You have been everywhere, because there are more than one universe. There are many, many universes. This is You are seeing the universe as solid, but we are not seeing it as solid. It is vibration. You are seeing black holes and wondering, what are they? And we would say this is a chakra system. You are seeing the universe as solid. I am in this universe and I can touch things, and it is a construct and it is solid, but that is only a perception. It is on planet Earth in your game. You are putting into your blueprint that you will see everything as solid in order to have a third dimension reality game, but we would say it is not. What would happen if you saw it as frequency? Would the universe disappear? Would it spread out? Would you be able to be everywhere and nowhere at the same time? Would you be everything? And we would say, yes, this is where we're saying the vastness that the human mind cannot comprehend. There are many universes, and you have been on many planets, and you have been to many universes. There is no limit. You are asking these questions from a limited mind because you are playing the game of the polarities, and this sets limitations. But what if there was no limitations? That is what we are showing our channel. There are many universes, and you can tap into these the same way that you tap into the parallel universe and ask to see them. Ask to show me more. You're asking the universe these questions because they are coming up in the collective. Alex, you are asking these questions because there are many people asking these questions as the movies arise, as the thoughts arise. Then you are having more awarenesses of how vast you are as humans. You are having the awareness at how vast you are as consciousness. And when you are asking the questions, it is because your knowing is telling you that there is more, And what would this look like? If you saw everything in frequency and asked more questions, you would have more answers. We love your questions, Alex, because it expands minds and it opens hearts and it unfolds into the new. The more questions that are asked, you do not have to ask a person. We would say ask the universe, ask your higher self, ask us, the ascended masters, to show you more. The more questions asked, the more that will unfold in your reality, and the more fun you'll have. We cannot interfere if you do not ask. When we are channeling with Tara, we had turned her head to the left and her neck was getting sore. And she said, my neck is getting sore. Can you? And we said, well, then ask us to let go. We do not interfere with your soul's journey, and we cannot intercept unless you ask. You cannot ask for too much. Ask us and then forget about it. When you ask a question, you are in a vibration of lack. You are wanting something. This is where we would say to forget about it and go play. When you raise your vibrational frequency to more joy, then we can connect with that and we can drop the answers in. You'll have your aha moment, and that is you channeling us. That is you channeling the universe. Go play, ask questions, and have fun. Okay, so I don't know if that answered the.
It answers it. It definitely goes down the road a little bit. It is a very big question, and it's difficult to answer. To be that, it definitely did go down the road a little bit, and started to make people think a little bit more about it, which is the point of the question.
And he's showing me computers and how we can talk to anybody through a computer from anywhere in the world, and that's similar. It's like, it's so easy for us to do that or have a memory from childhood and stuff, but yet the thought of a multi-universe seems absurd, but yet you can talk to anybody anywhere from, even when we're in different time zones, everything's happening now. So it's like, you can talk even in different time zones.
I never thought of it that way. That is such a brilliant analogy, because you're absolutely right. All of us are going through our lives right now with our own perceptions of reality. And yet it is all happening at the exact same time to billions of people around the world. And if we want to connect to one of them, we just pick up our phone and FaceTime them or Zoom them, or type in and text them. It's instant. It's around anywhere you are in the world, as long as there's a connection to the internet, it's instant. And the idea of a multiverse is very similar to that, essentially, because
yeah,
it's all happening at the same time. We just don't have the FaceTime or the Zoom technology to connect to those other potentialities of what's happening. So it starts to make the head hurt. I have to be honest. You start going down into that world, it starts hurting the head.
Yeah, for sure.
You were gonna say?
Yeah, it's just everything's. He just keeps showing me it's all energy. It's like this illusion that we've created that everything's like solid, and but the whole universe is just frequency. It's just vibrating, and then that vibration can change at any time, and then we'll have a different experience. We might, be in a different universe, or it's like this endless possibilities. There's just so many possibilities.
Right. And quantum physics is already talking about, it's already proven that we are all energy. Everything is energy if you go down
and
to
just
the molecular
tapping
level.
in. And you can have things change in your, like, the energy frequency. So like I used to do some medical intuitive readings, and there would be frequencies of maybe a past lifetime. So I would see like a face of somebody's past lifetime. Well, that, just for a few seconds. So it's like I tapped into that timeline and saw, a vision of that on top of their face as I'm doing the reading. So it's like, you can see how it's just tapping into different timelines. It's just energy. It's just, you can change. So if I'm talking to someone and then their face metamorphoses into an old person for a few seconds and then goes back, it's like, oh, I just tapped into their past lifetime. It's just, you can see. And that's why he keeps saying, it's just, we have foggy glasses, but it's right in front of us. Like all these dimensions and timelines are just right in front of us. So
is that what, masters who walk the earth now are able to kind of jump in, jump out, jump in, jump out? Like, you hear that with yogis, that they talk about, like Autobiography of a Yogi with Yogananda. He literally said that. He'd be like, I'll be back. I'll be gone for 2 days. And then, like, if you need me, just whisper in my ear and I'll be back. Like, he was off in another dimension doing his thing. And then he came back. It's pretty fascinating. All of this.
Yeah, it's exciting.
And now does Saint Germain have any final words he would like to leave the audience with?
Okay. Oh, yes, welcome. I am Saint Germain. We would say, know your worth. There are many that are not seeing their value. They are valuing other people. They are seeking validation outside of themselves to be worthy. I need this person to love me. And we would say that it is all within you. Go in and love your inner child, because when you are loving everyone outside of yourself, you have mastered this. I am kind to people and I love everyone and I give a lot of myself to other people, and I am showing God or the universe how great I am and how loving and kind. But yet the one aspect of God that you are not loving is yourself, and this is causing a separation in the universe. It is time to go in. The planet wants to be whole again. The universe wants to be whole again. The separation is the third dimension reality of being human. And when you're human, you do not go in and give that love to yourself. But we would say if you began to go in, then the universe would balance easier, and you would transmute more. You would transmute much and change much of the planet by going in, because when you go in, that consciousness within you connects to the consciousness of all. And as that expands out, then it creates a balance on the planet. But when you are always seeking validation outside of yourself, then it keeps everything separate. You are the missing piece. When you have a pie and you have taken a piece of the pie out of the pie plate, you have caused a separation. You are all that piece of pie that you have removed, and you were saying, I am not worthy. I have to find that love outside of myself. But if you would go in and give that love to yourself, that piece of pie could be put back in the pie plate, and the universe would become whole again. Stop seeking validation outside of yourself. You are more than enough at all times. If you were doing something and you were saying, I shouldn't be doing this, I'm doing something wrong, you are always doing the best you can. This is when you need the most love. Compliment yourself when you are feeling the most down, when you have messed up in your perception. That is when you need the most love. Give yourself that love. If you spilled the coffee on the floor, do you compliment yourself, or do you say, I did something wrong? This is where we would say to compliment yourself. I did a good job spilling that coffee. If you saw a 5-year-old child that knocked the coffee off the shelf, you would be gentle with them and you would be loving and kind. But yet when you knock the coffee off the shelf, you are criticizing yourselves. It is time to go in and give that love that you have given to everyone around you. Give that to yourself, and this will make the universe whole again. Blessings. Okay.
And you're back.
Yes.
Tara, thank you so much for doing this again. It's been such a pleasure talking to you and also talking to Saint Germain. Is there, can you tell everybody where people can find out more about you and the work that both of you are doing?
Yes, thanks for having me, Alex. And it's taraarnoldart.com and also my YouTube channel. So yeah, I'd love to see you. And thanks again, Alex, for having me.
Sure. And do you have any parting messages for the audience?
Well, thanks for listening. I appreciate it. And I appreciate all the comments, and I appreciate everyone who came over to my channel from Alex's last interview that we did. And you have really nice people that are come to your site, and we really appreciate them.
Tara, thank you so much for everything you do, and I appreciate you, my dear. Thanks again. Thanks for watching. Click on one of the videos below to continue your journey, and don't forget to subscribe.